Welcome to another episode of Being Sexy and Playing Video Games. Ah! We are continuing the Roottreemania series. I'm tired. At this point, I'm gonna put yes. I don't. No. I'm gonna put yes. I'm gonna put. She's just there. Wait, it said she had gone to the party, but that she wouldn't leave his side. I feel like that must have been, but I mean, she must have been a secretary, but like, if she wouldn't leave his side, that means she didn't want to do none of that. So he's not, and he's not. I'm gonna say they were a loving family. Neither of them are Roottrees. I'm gonna say you are. I'm gonna trust my girl Clem. My girl Mary Beth. Say they're not. I don't know, dude. I'm just guessing. Wait. Wildcat construction. No. Why did I look that up? Or did I look it up? Did I not find the best one to use? That's stupid. Well, maybe I didn't find the merch. Whatever. Corporate mythology. But they fought about her. I feel like maybe. I'll say yes. I'm missing so many clues. Tired, man. But now we're locked in on this one. And okay, yes. This one, oh, it's a guy at Roottrees, but it wasn't. We remember. Guys, do you remember where we started? Let's go back to the beginning. Oh, it's even fucking here. Anonymous. We're gonna look her up. Business launch. She would be there. Miami. Jane Doe, Anonymous. We took the picture. Pity not afraid to expose details that other locations would avoid shortly after the announcement of Jane Doe Roottrees. That Jane Doe was not a Roottrees. Pity exposed personal details about the story of Anonymous under the headline Anonymous to Anonicon. They said Anonymous worked as a manager at a department store in North Carolina, and her daughter's name was Courtney May. Okay, we'll look her up. So there's name is Courtney May, retail manager. They also said that the woman that vouched for her famous cover story they did not identify in use time, perhaps to avoid being sued, is named Corin S., and that she had filed for bankruptcy. The article speculates that Anonymous and Corin were in on it together, and even speculated that they might have been lovers. PPD is not a credible publication. Their information wasn't particularly actionable. Very few police seemed to notice or care. about gossip? No, but not really. No. Wait. Oh no. Sometimes my nail will chip just from brushing against my hair. So, I felt something. Oh no, I actually do see it. It did chip. What the hell? Whatever. Okay, another mom. Have a name. I'm gonna look up. Oh, that's not what I meant to look up. The daughter's name. Copy. Paste. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. God damn it. That's what I'm going to do. And to do this. Where is that? There you go. We're missing. No, we're not. It looks filled up unless there's. I'm missing 3, 4, 5, 6. Unless I'm missing 9 pieces of evidence. I think I'm good on that. Corin or something? Chorus. And I have very beautiful memories, so if we remember, there was a. Oh, must have been here. Secretary. Where there were 2 secretaries. That anonymous. Okay. Anonymous worked as a secretary, and that another secretary could vouch for her, so she has to be undersecretaries. There we go. Corinne Schwartz. Comes on a few articles from local stations. Episode announced some people attempted to track down Anna were harassing her. She was going to have to take a leave of absence because people showed up at the car dealership she worked. She was begging people to stop the accusations. She is not an anonymous, so she's not an anonymous. The anonymous is Beatrice Watts. Where? Pennsylvania? Okay. Beatrice Watts. I wasn't paying attention, hold on. Yeah. Watts. Cool. Beyond the Butler County, after she was named in a national tabloid, people have been coming on to harass her. Her only child is still in middle school, unless her son's gestation period was approximately 10 years. It doesn't appear like Corinne has to be involved in the affairs, so we're gonna look up. Nothing. Go back to that evidence. Nothing. What about news time? To use her full name, Courtney-May Watts. Courtney-May Watts. Courtney May, oh, just married. Oh, Beatrice has a simple website with black text on a white background and a few images from the view counter. You can tell you're one of the only few hundred people who has visited it. She's not shy about claiming she's Jane Doe Roottreemania. What the hell? As proof, she has posted an unobscured cover from the time she was featured on News Time, as well as a different picture of herself that appears on a to be a wedding photo. Oh, so she has the OG. Where is it? Oh, wait, where's the blurred one? Dude, there we go. Oh my god, it is her. That's mom, that's daughter. She don't give a fuck. She be letting everyone know. Courtney May and Danny. together forever. Daniel. Nurse. Am I missing anybody? Checked. Need to fill that one in. Check. Does it actually want me to find every single Ruby Legal Group? Mom's not a liar. She said DNA. She doesn't trust DNA now. She's like, my mom's not a liar. Danielle, what? Die. Courtney may watch. Yoik. What's Hubby's name? Oh, Newton. Newton. Neofan. There you go. Tell you for not paying attention then, but if I had been reading. How can I get help, guys? Hint. If you're gonna be struck, try talking through it. Get a hint. You have search for everything on your list of notable events. That's a good start. Huh? Go to records. Notable events start here. Facebook retrieve. Anonymous. I looked at everything. Because there's probably more to it. Okay. I already did that one. Smatson. On Roottreemania. How do I tell them? Somebody come help me. Wow, I didn't know you could do that. What the heck? That's so awesome. Because I have to find every single thing. Ugh. Okay. Well. I'll be back, I guess. What the hell? This is going to be a long time. Well, this is going to be a short one. This is going to be a short one, I feel. We know that there was cheating, for sure, with Beth on him. The book she wrote, weird. Kid, never met his dad. Mom died. No dad ever. Weird. I found this, wait, who? Pretty sure. Where Miracle says that... And then something about... She and her son are welcome to stay in our guest home. Her son already existed, so this one, well, this, not his, younger, yeah, because he showed up at the doorstep. That's okay, sure. She is a root tree, but you know why she's a root tree? Because I found this. Yeah, I was missing some. I found the DNA sample, This is an example of David Fellows against Jane Doe. 99% match. And then this is the DNA test that another mom had with whatever her daughter, Courtney May. But it said that they're not related because it was Jane Doe to Bonnie. But guess what? Jane Doe could have been the rapper. They could have just tested somebody else's DNA, not Courtney May's. And then on this one, they put his name and they put alleged Jane Doe. Guess what the fucking Jane Doe could be? The mom. The mom could have. The mom was dead, but still, an alleged. Oh, was listed as Jane Doe. Guess why they list her as Jane Doe? He's not related. It went through, what's her name? Whatever, Ruby, Scarlet, Starlet. It went through her. And she said this one was true and this one was fake. And she's been lying weird. This one was true, that was fake. They talked about a weird pregnancy and how she already had a baby in the oven. They like shotgunned a wedding. I feel like this was that. And then she cheated once they were married. That's weird though. Why would he not be the kid? I thought y'all were happy. Whatever. She, I believe it. IVF, faker. He, I believe it. He's all over. Guy had some little dirty dog. This one, I believe it. She went everywhere with him, so. Yep. And last but not least, we have Robert and Ronald. Yeah, so he's not a Roottreemania. And he is a Roottreemania, and that's it. I expect that something to happen. How do I make someone show up and help me? I think I'm done. Help me. Ducky. I already did that, so. Can I, like, oh, can I leave and tell them? Can I call them? Okay, give me a minute, because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think I'm done. Like, I've figured it out. Like, that's that. Okay, I don't know what to do. Give me a second. Guys, this is ridiculous. There's literally a button. These are the last two optional. The last two are optional. You can summon Sam and Clark whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal the truth, so make sure you're ready. And I think I'm ready. It didn't confirm the mom. But it said that I completed it. So it was right. The extras. Oh my god, it's dark already?
Interest in Courtney May. Clark, can you swing another test against Bonnie's DNA?
This time I'll be sure to have them verify both samples in person.
1 week later. Oh my god! This is so fun. Hey girl.
Using the family tree you filled out, as well as DNA tests, we were able to uncover the truth behind all the
Imagine they were both orphans, because they both came from Pennsylvania. They're both orphans together, and that's what they did. They were both orphans together. They're trying to get their money up. One of them was smart, one of them was goofy. And that's what they did.
Clark's handling the business, but I've
Ruby and
fill you in on everything.
6 pieces, whatever.
But actually, that's an understatement. It's not every week you discover your family company is being sabotaged by someone they trusted. But that's the kind of time we've been having. Like I said, buckle up. Maybe grab some popcorn. We'll start with Guy Hudson.
Jesus, I'm scared. Not him.
Guy had a frankly ridiculous number of potential children. What shocked me is how many graduated from potential to confirmed.
That's funny. Yeah, that is pretty interesting, princess.
We can even prove he was aware of them. The smoking gun was how he used company money to pay off a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
He hid it with a method inspired by his idol, Elias. 5-piece flavors. The flavors he was paying
That's how he was paying them off every month.
were a ruse.
Oh my god.
He developed flavors based on the initials of the women he was paying. Which was really stupid, considering one of their names started with X.
Oh my god. That makes so much sense. I was like, see, what? Whatever.
Let's start with Christine. Guy was paying her under the name Caviar, but there were some other clues. James was born 9 months after Zach's party. Christine was there with Guy, and when she got pregnant, she panicked. Steve stepped up. He even turned it into one of his recipe stories. Not all of Guy's affairs led to offspring. He may have slept with Robin Martin, but she didn't have children, so we'll never know.
Oh yeah, we saw that. Yeah, we did read that.
Also, not every child of Guy's affair partners were his. Robert Garland was born after his parents had already moved to Boston.
Did I get it right?
Skipping Beatrice for now. Up next is Lang Xin Yu. When Guy showed up in China, she was into America. And Americans. Dare I say redheads, even? When she got pregnant, her father paid Key Genes to fake IVF. They claimed her sister was unable to conceive. But her sister and Jerry had their own son, Mark. Sonia Alves was soon after. Nia was married at a very young age to a much older husband. She resented him. I don't blame her. They allegedly spent no time together in private. Guy was in Brazil during Christmas 1979. It's the only Christmas not in the records.
It's not? I thought it was.
Flavio was born 9 months later, and like the others, Guy started paying Sonia. Last was Susan Ford, hired to translate for Guy's overseas trips. It's easy to read into Guy's donation to her school, but there's no definitive proof there. She and Guy were witnessed together near the end of his life. Susan's husband was convinced he couldn't be the father of her daughters. Guy, though, paid double. The price of twins. So, what about 5Ps? Felix Fellow's mother, Joanna, doesn't have a 5 pieces flavor. On top of that, his story doesn't really add up. His mother already left the company by the time Guy became president, and his lyrics indicate he was born sometime around 1975. Alone, that wouldn't necessarily prove it, but there are some suspicious connections between Felix and the company's current lawyer, Ruby Spratt. They both grew up in Portland, in foster care, and according to the local paper, they definitely knew one another. Ruby was the one who approached the Roottrees to begin with. It was all a setup. Ruby and Felix saw my book's challenge to the Clancet Trust as an opportunity. His mother really had worked for Roottree, and Ruby was a respected lawyer. She exploited my family's greed, worked her way into control of the trust, and ensured Felix got a piece. But they made some mistakes along the way. If you look at the 2 DNA tests that Ruby handled, they were both supposedly tested against Bonnie Hudson.
I didn't even check that. I was just saying it says Jane Doe for one and not for the other, which is weird because we would have all known who they were testing against. But yeah, that's different.
But the 2 signatures that should both represent Bonnie don't match. After Clark and I confronted her, Ruby lawyered up. Ironic, I know. We suspect Ruby had Donatico test Felix against his own mother's DNA. He had a hairbrush of hers. They sent the female sample in remotely. On the second test, Bonnie's sample was tested locally, but Courtney May's was not. Ruby's been throwing away samples. We think she sent her own hair instead of Courtney May's, but it could have been anyone's. Ruby and Felix were in cahoots. As for why, they were both advocates of wealth redistribution. A noble effort. But once they controlled the family fortune, they became just as greedy as the worst members of my family. The money corrupted them. They were so eager to personally wield the wealth for their own cause that they sabotaged any other claims. That finally brings us to Anonymom, aka Beatrice Watts. Her tales of guys' parties and payoffs were true. She even approached Ruby before 5Ps was on news time. Ruby used Beatrice's truths to make Felix's lies feel real, then ruined the DNA test so that Beatrice looked phony in the public court of opinion. I feel worst for her in all of this. While Ruby and Felix stole the show, there were some other potential new family members as well. Miracle Roottrees was less of an open and shut case. That said, it's very likely he had a son with Mary Beth Clementine. Not Stuart. Mary Beth adopted him before she ever set foot in Butler County. That leaves Mark. The timeline fits. He showed up about 9 months after Mary Beth visited Miracle. And the basket baby story is a bit too convenient. If that's not enough on its own, he was also bailed out by the sister of Edith Roottree, Miracle Jr.'s wife, after she changed her name to win that silly contest. Our best guess is that Mark was told by his mother whose son he was, and used that fact to put some pressure on Miracle Jr. We have no real proof of that, but nothing else really makes sense for why they'd be connected in that way. Elias's affair was the most ambiguous. Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias to do things he wouldn't have otherwise done, like pressure to include me in the family. My son even mentioned them arguing about someone named Beth. Combined with Gwyneth's lisp, it's possible the name was actually Bess.
Elias, please remember Sam. That's hilarious.
Unfortunately, all we know about Bess Williams is that she wrote his book and died not long after, leaving her only son an orphan. The timeline fits with Wildcat, but there's no record if she had any other relationship. Honestly, I wouldn't say we had enough evidence either way. I wouldn't be surprised if Elias cheated. Of course, I'm a bit biased. Regardless, we haven't gotten in touch with any of the Williams clan yet. That means we haven't been able to do a DNA test. As Clark mentioned, from here on out, all of our DNA tests will be in person for both parties.
Question.
Lastly, we have a bit of a curveball. Ron Roottree isn't related to us by blood. Gwyn was definitely pregnant, so it's likely Robbie is. When Ron and Robbie went to visit their mother at the end of her life, something changed. Additionally, there have been a few rumors circling around Ron. RR Productions canceled the Guys Like Us remake due to the director's illness. At the same time, Ron's wife Penelope began doing benefits for Huntington's disease, stating that she had become familiar with it. Huntington's is the same disease that Gwyn's former co-star Leslie Florence had. It's passed from parent to child. It can't skip a generation.
Oh, this sucks.
Because Gwyn and Wild Bill didn't have Huntington's, and Ron seems to, it's impossible Gwyn was his mother. I recently confirmed all this with Ron. At the end of her life, Gwyn told Ron the story. Leslie and Bill had an affair the same year Leslie learned she had Huntington's. Leslie got pregnant.
Jeez.
Leslie wasn't likely to survive to see her child grow up. And even if she did, she didn't want to be a burden. She begged Gwyn and Wild Bill to adopt her child. Gwyn did. Mere weeks after she found out she was having her own son, she also took in Ron. Wild Bill was a problem. Unreliable and a serial adulterer. Gwyn divorced him and never saw him again. Gwyn had already told Starlet she was pregnant, so it never really made waves when people saw her with a child in Paris. There was gossip during her divorce when she was discovered to be pregnant again. In actuality, it was the final months of her only pregnancy. To lay low, she stayed in Paris long enough that even her own family never had reason to question the timeline. It's one heck of a story, and frankly, nobody could be expected to piece the timeline together. Not with what few mentions of Gwyn's past have survived. But the Huntingtons itself? That's proof.
Wow.
Ron suing Robbie to remove him from the Clancid Trust was a huge moment in my story, and a major catalyst for this entire investigation. Finding out that it's been pretty much backwards this whole time has been a bit surreal. So that's where we're at. Looking over the information you sent us was invaluable.
Ooh. Right.
You got everything absolutely correct.
Thank you. Send me $1,000. Now.
Why did we even bother hiring a team? You figured it all out solo. All this information, this entire story. It's a lot. In more ways than one. Some of it has the potential to destroy marriages and ruin relationships.
Right, because she cheated. I'm thinking about the Garlands and the chefs. She cheated with... Or maybe I got that one wrong.
We're handling it all very, very carefully. But we couldn't have gotten here without you. And with that, I guess our tale has finally, truly come to an end. What a strange one it was. No words can express how grateful I am to you for untangling this mess. Honestly, I've had enough of my family's eccentricities and scandals for one lifetime. I imagine you have as well.
More.
And if not...
Ooh? Ooh?
Well, there's always Elias's and Gwyneth's brothers and sisters.
What? Oh my god. A little teaser, no? That's so fun. Run this thing. Oh my gosh.
Man, y'all are hypocrites. Sitting back in your massive estates, built from the cash that your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve it, based on your family's creations. Yo, but look at here, Sonny, don't you come for ours.
Guys, let me know.
Burn bright in hell.
There. I'm out. Well, that's it for this video. Bye bye. 33 minutes and 33 seconds. No, but that's it. What the heck? We're done. We did it. We friggin' did it. We did it. Thank you very much for watching. The root trees are dead. Roottreemania. I was the missing piece. Wow. Oh, that's it? I don't know what else to say. It's been exciting. It's been fun. Finally done. Boom! Thank you very much for watching. I'll see y'all later. Next game I'm playing is Unpacking. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.